The T-Berg Fund, a publicly traded mutual fund managed by Duluth investment professional Curtis A. T-Berg. More information about the fund is available at tbergfund.com. And the Muriel Whiteside Charitable Trust.
I'm Julie Zenner along with Dennis Anderson, and here's what's coming up on Almanac North.
Well, former Duluth Mayor Don Ness will soon be taking the reins at a venerable Duluth Foundation. Find out why he's calling this his dream job.
Temperatures have been on a real roller coaster ride so far this month. We'll find out what the National Weather Service predicts for the rest of the winter.
And we'll have the broadcast premiere of a new local music video and the week's business headlines.
It's all coming up next on Almanac North. Hello and welcome to Almanac North. Thanks for watching. This week's show was recorded on Thursday due to the Christmas holiday weekend. And now here's Denny with our first topic.
All right, thank you very much, Julie, and welcome everyone. Our first guest was Mayor of Duluth for 8 years, guiding the city through some difficult budget situations. He's one of the most popular mayors Duluth has ever had. And now he has landed a new job in the city where he was born and raised. Joining us is Don Ness, named this week as the next executive director of the Ordean Foundation. Good to see you here, Don. Now, in a social media post the other day, you called this your dream job. How so?
Well, you know, it's really the values of my family. Growing up, my parents were always there to assist people that were in need and struggling with poverty. My dad was a pastor of a small church during the late 70s and early 80s when it was difficult times in the city of Duluth. He was also chaplain at Northwood Children's Home, and my mom worked at the Battered Women's Shelter. So it's very deeply ingrained in the values of our family to do what we can to help those in need in our community. And that's the mission of the Ordean Foundation, to help those in poverty and to think long-term about the challenges associated.
Did the foundation approach you, or was this a position that you heard about and actually sought it out?
Well, they use a recruiter, and so the recruiter did reach out to me and asked if I would apply. And of course, it was a little difficult because I had just started at Lake Superior College in a job that I really love, and Lake Superior College has been just a wonderful place to work. But this is the sort of job that only comes around every 20 or 30 years, and because it was such a perfect fit for my interest in investing in this community and addressing issues of poverty, I couldn't let the opportunity pass.
Albert and Louise were the original Ordeans,
right?
And they left a sum of money, and now it's being put to good use. What is the Ordean Foundation, and how is it being used?
Well, the Ordean Foundation was started about 90 years ago, and it was a very generous gift from the Ordean family, and they have made numerous very generous gifts to this community in many different forms, and the foundation is certainly one of the most lasting of their legacies. And at that time, in the late 20s, they said, you know, what's very important to us is to address the issue of poverty in our community. And he was a very successful business person in banking and the grocery business, but saw his social responsibility to give back to his community.
As mayor, of course, you saw all sides of the community. Where do you see the biggest issues of poverty and disparity still exist today, and how do you think perhaps as leader of the Ordean Foundation you might be in a position to get at those?
Well, I think what we're seeing today is that poverty is racialized, that we do have that we have to address that there are great disparities on a racial basis in our community and across the nation. And that it's persistent, that we're finding folks that don't feel like they have an opportunity to come make a better life for themselves, and oftentimes families will be stuck in poverty generation after generation. And we have to make sure that you know, the very foundation of the American dream is that no matter where you start, that you can make a better life for yourself. And too often we have these social determinants of poverty that really get people and families stuck into these cycles in which it's very difficult to break out.
Don, is there an Ordean Foundation board? And if so, how does it work?
There is a board made up of private business people and representing different aspects of the community. It's a 10-member board, and they've done an outstanding job along with the staff in leading this organization for many years.
Is it the board then that decides which agencies will get funded?
Well, there's a program director, Joe Everett, who has been in the role for over 20 years and very well respected and has deep relationships with the nonprofits that we fund, and he makes recommendations to the board.
And early on, it was mandated that a district court judge had to sit on that board. Is that still the case?
No, it's not the case, but I did see that in the history of the foundation that initially that was, I think it's difficult to find judges that can serve on local boards.
As I was getting ready for this topic, I of course wanted to find out as much about the Ordean Foundation as possible. Went online, there's no website.
Yeah.
Is that something that you see as perhaps a priority as you move into the position, or how do they get the word out about what they're doing?
Well, they don't accept grant applications. It's only by previous relationship or through discussions, and so they don't have kind of the open call for grant submissions as some foundations do. And I think the culture of the foundation is that they do very important work. They make long-term commitments to these nonprofits for operating support rather than kind of the programmatic support that other foundations focus on. And part of their culture that they have developed over the years is to have a very kind of under-the-radar sort of approach.
Sure. Is the foundation set up, Don, to give $1 million a year, more than $1 million a year?
The giving at this time is $1.6 million a year, and it's given to approximately 30 different nonprofit organizations in Duluth.
Is there a fundraising aspect to this job as well, where you can tap some of those connections that you've made over the years?
Well, there's not, and one of the, again, the idea behind the foundation is that they don't want to compete with the nonprofits that they serve, and so they use the endowment to make grants. I think there is opportunity to develop partnerships with regional and national foundations to hopefully bring some additional dollars to Duluth. So it may not be kind of the boots on the ground type of fundraising, but rather looking at larger opportunities.
I got to ask this question. You've been out of the mayor's office now for just about a year. How has it been for you both professionally and personally?
It's been really wonderful. I've really enjoyed my time out of the mayor's office. Of course, it helps that I think that Mayor Larson is doing a fantastic job, and so I don't have that worry. But just kind of the absence of the stress, of the complaints, and of the politics. It had been 16 years of being in citywide public office, and the absence of that has been really wonderful and has been good for me and our family.
Have there been times through the course of the year when you've had to bite your tongue or step back to just not go where you might naturally go and get involved in things?
I think early on there were times when it was difficult because it was very much a subject of the conversation that was taking place in the community, but it was no longer part of that conversation. And so that kind of took some very deliberate effort to say, I'm not going to engage on these things, and I'm glad that I made that decision, and it has helped the transition by just saying, I am not going to, I'll resist the temptation to get involved.
Any regrets at all about that decision to not continue in public office?
No, it really was the right decision. It was the right time, especially with the ages of my kids being 11, 9, and 5. It was nice for us to take a step out of the public eye a bit, and it has been a year of transition for us, and transitions are often not easy, and so it has been a challenging year, but at the same time, we now see that we're on a path that we're really enjoying the role in our community, and I feel really good about the potential to give back to Duluth and make a difference through this new job.
Steve Mangan held the job for like 21 years that you're going to be taking over. When do you take over, and will you be making some changes?
Well, I take over in late January, and the nice thing about the Ordean Foundation is that it's so well run. The staff there, Steve and Joe and Kathy have done such a fantastic job for many years that there's unlike some of my previous jobs, there's no crisis on day one, and so my role is just going to be sit back and listen, learn, have conversations with our partners and from our staff, and really get a holistic view of the challenges that we face and the culture of the organization before I make any type of change.
Is Steve going to be working with you through that transition or leading up to the
Steve has
changeover?
been very generous. We're going to be meeting throughout the next month, and he said even in retirement I'll have his cell phone and be able to call him with any questions I have.
Now, as mayor, did you find yourself working with the Ordean Foundation periodically on projects, and do you see yourself working with the current administration?
I think that there's certainly benefit for that sort of coordination, and especially when you're dealing with issues as important as poverty in our community. My most direct experience with working with the Ordean Foundation is in the aftermath of the 2012 flood, when the Ordean Foundation stepped up in a very significant way and used money from their endowment to help in our flood relief efforts. And so that was a good relationship, and had some insight into the strength of the organization.
Mr. Ordean was a personal friend of past President William McKinley. Do you know anything about the history of that friendship?
I really don't, although I think it was a much smaller world, especially at business. Yeah, with industry leaders, and J.J. Hill was also strongly connected with Mr. Ordean, and so I think those titans of industry had a pretty small circle. I know that they had a very strong and personal relationship.
And certainly Mr. Ordean was one of the big ones here in town.
Absolutely was.
And speaking of presidents, once a political junkie, always a political junkie. You've been somewhat outspoken about the outcome of the presidential race this year. Do you see any positive opportunities for the Duluth community and for Minnesota under the new administration?
That's a tough question, Julie. Do I see opportunity? I think there's always opportunity in change, and I think that we're going to have to be very diligent about looking for those opportunities. But I think we also, with some of the appointments being made and some of the more dramatic promises that are being made, I think we're going to have to kind of be prepared to resist some of the potential policy changes that I think could have really devastating impacts on our community.
Okay, on that we have to end it. Former Duluth Mayor Don Ness, thank you. Soon to be head of the Ordean Foundation. Thanks,
you.
Don.
Now, let's dig into our news file archive for a look at what was making news 25 years ago this week.
The word challenge comes to mind when you think about driving along Northland roads in the winter, especially this year. It's just the beginning of December, and we're already breaking records with our snowfall. According to David Solon at Kohler Motors, the only way to meet the challenge is in a four-wheel drive.
Well, you've got all the traction that you can get anywhere you want. Like we were down here many days looking at the traffic, and the only thing going by was the all-wheel drives or the four-wheel drives when everybody was stuck at home for many, many days.
All four wheels pull on these vehicles. That extra pull forward gives you better traction and more control in deep snow and on icy roads. That control is a selling point for Howard Colford.
Well, you still have to be careful, but I know I could get around much better with a 4x4. Wouldn't have to be so cautious about what kind of weather you went in.
Solon says with all our snow, the sale of four-wheel drives has tripled this year, and they're no longer considered work vehicles. Many Northlanders are making it their family car.
Now there's good news if you don't feel comfortable driving a pickup truck. With the advent of all-wheel drive, you can now get the benefits of four-wheel drive and a vehicle that looks nothing like a pickup truck. Laura Cowan, KDLH News.
This week was the official start of winter as we mark the winter solstice on Wednesday. After a bitter cold snap last weekend, this week we return to above average temperatures across the region, and that continues a trend of warmer than average conditions during 2016. So what can we expect from the rest of winter? Joining us is Michael Stewart, the meteorologist in charge at the National Weather Service in Duluth. And welcome back, Mike.
Good. Thanks for having me back.
Of course, everyone, or a lot of people, want to know what the weather is going to be like this weekend as they head over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house. What can you tell them?
Going to grandmother's house is really going to be problematic in some areas, right? It looks like that we're going to have a mixture of rain, snow, sleet, freezing rain across the Northland. In the Twin Ports area and let's say over toward Brainerd, it looks like it's probably going to be that mixture of rain through freezing rain and snow. Up north further, basically the Iron Range further north, where it looks like it's going to be all snow. The heaviest snow is going to be in northwest Minnesota, it looks like. But we are probably going to be getting some snow across the Iron Range and north and into the Arrowhead.
Can you give some timelines on that for people who may be traveling, when they should think about doing their traveling this week to avoid it?
What we recommend is you should travel on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day and Monday morning is not going to be very good at all across the Northland. So the best thing is to travel on Christmas Eve, make your plans for that day to move, because on Christmas Day, it could be anything across the Northland, and especially across the Twin Ports because of the influence of the lake and the altitude changes.
Is there a timeline on that, Mike? Do you think it'll start early in the morning on Christmas Day, or we're not sure yet?
Right now, it looks like it's probably going to start sometime around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Day. And it will change throughout the day.
Yeah.
Like here in the Twin Ports, we're looking at snow, which may change over to freezing rain, and maybe have rain in the afternoon, where over toward the Brainerd area, we're looking at probably snow and then changing the rain earlier. Up across the Iron Range and the Arrowhead, it will probably stay all snow, and that will probably start anywhere between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
So folks should take heed.
Yes, the best thing is to travel Christmas Eve. Spend some extra time with the family if you want to.
Let's talk about the unusually warm weather that we've been having this week. Of course, we're recording on Thursday, and when I left the house this afternoon, it was darn near 40 at my place. How unusual is that?
That is very unusual. At this time of year, our average high is in the mid-20s, so we're 10 to 15 degrees above normal. We had the second warmest November in history over about 110 years ago. It was around the turn of the century was our last warm November of that type. And when we had the cold snap just the previous weekend, it only lasted about 3 days, and we're back up in the 30s. Usually by now, you usually have a foot of snow on the ground. But it's been warm.
And Mike, we all remember, of course, that catastrophic wind of this past July. How often does this area see such a wind? We don't get them certainly every year.
No, we usually don't, but usually we average across this area anywhere from 5 to 10 years. Every 5 to 10 years, we get a windstorm. And in this case here, is a derecho, which is a long-lived area of high winds. It hit the Twin Ports. Usually it goes across less populated areas. Unfortunately, on July 21st, it hit the Twin Ports.
Yeah.
Now, the Old Farmer's Almanac has predicted that this winter will be colder than normal, which so far doesn't seem to be playing out. But do you agree with that prediction? And we have some graphics that I think kind of show the outlooks in both temperature and precipitation for 1 month and then 3 months. So maybe you could walk us through
right
this.
now what we're looking at here is the 1 month precipitation outlook, and for the basically most of the Northland is near normal precipitation, which is around an inch of precipitation, which may end up around 15-20 inches depending on how cold it is. And then the 1 month temperature outlook is actually indicating probably, again, normal temperatures for January. And our average high in January is in the mid-teens and average low is around 0. And that's what we're looking at for 1 month. Now, when you look at the 3 month, the rest of the winter, since we just switched over to winter just a couple days ago, for 3 months, we're looking at above normal precipitation. So it looks like we may be getting more snow depending on what the temperature is, and the 3-month temperature outlook is colder than normal. So what that is kind of leading toward is it looks like we may get more snow, especially across the time period of January, February, and March. You know, March here, we usually get some big snows here in March, so that's not really unusual. And April. It was 4 or 5 years ago, we got 51 inches of snowfall in April.
I remember it well.
How has forecasting the weather changed, Mike, given the modern technology we have?
It has really been much easier. Just in the 30 years I've been in the Weather Service, we have many more models, depending if you want to look at short range, maybe out to 1 to 2 days or out to 10 days. And it really helps, especially these big winter storms like we have coming up this weekend. We can see the trend at least a week ahead of time and start warning the public about the effects of the storm and how it's going to impact their travel and their lives.
So those longer range forecasts, say 10 days, more accurate than they might have been 10, 15 years ago.
They are much accurate. What we can see is that we use the long range forecast as a trend. We can say, okay, it looks like it is hinting at maybe we're going to get a storm. It looks like it's going to be colder, it's going to be warmer, and that helps us with our forecast as that, like let's say last weekend, we're looking at this weekend, we can see the trend and see it'll help us with our forecast.
Last year, El Nino was an important factor in predicting the winter forecast. A factor this year at all?
Not really. La Nina is a lot weaker this year, and it may even be what they call neutral by the middle of January, February. So it really is not going to have that much of effect on the weather up here in the Northland.
So less precipitation maybe next summer compared to this past summer?
There really is no correlation between, let's say, colder winter and a warmer summer and vice versa. There really isn't any correlation. It depends how the atmosphere patterns is. In this case here, no La Nina, so therefore the patterns are going to be, I wouldn't say normal, there's no such thing as normal, but we'll see how it occurs.
We'll have you back a year from now to see how things worked out, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Maybe not the holiday gift that people were hoping to get, but a storm is always nice if you're warm and cozy with your family.
Just except for the Iron Range North and in the Arrowhead, I don't think there's going to be a lot of snow.
All right. Thank you so much.
It's time now for the business headlines from our friends at Business North. The first Cirrus Vision jet produced for commercial sale was presented to its buyer Monday during an elaborate ceremony at the company's new production facility in Duluth. Cirrus co-founder and chief executive officer Dale Kleppmeyer called the accomplishment a major milestone. It's a key growth step for the company, whose single-engine personal jet was certified in October by the FAA. It features the signature Cirrus whole airframe parachute system and has a cruising speed exceeding 300 knots. Some 600 jets, priced at about $2 million each, have already been ordered.
The Northwest Wisconsin Workforce Investment Board has recognized Jerry Hempt of Superior for his dedicated service as a member of the group's board. During his 12 years of service, Hempt volunteered as vice chair of the Strategic Directions and Development Committee as well as the Executive Committee. A UWS business professor and director of the Center for Economic Development, Hempt is a founder of Superior Days. He is retiring from UWS at the close of this semester.
Well, the business community and Senator Amy Klobuchar are reacting strongly against a federal decision to deny Twin Metals, Minnesota the right to renew mineral leases near the Boundary Waters canoe area. Klobuchar said the decision should have been made based on the same environmental review process that has been utilized for other mining projects. She predicted the decision by two agencies will end up in endless lawsuits. The Jobs for Minnesotans group said the action denies due process and will cause lengthening mining delays. For more on these and other stories, visit businessnorth.com.
If you have a comment on this week's show, give us a call. Dial 218-788-2849 to leave a message or send an email to almanacnorth@wdse.org. You can also visit the WDSE website for the latest program listings, updates on your favorite PBS shows, and news about coming station events. And Denny, we want to wish all of our viewers a happy and safe Christmas weekend.
That we certainly do. We hope everybody enjoys the weekend and just has a good time whatever you're doing. So Merry Christmas to all.
That's right. And finally tonight we're going to leave you with a brand new music video from Minnesota and Iron Range music maker Paul Metza. The song is Christmas at Molly's, an ode to the legendary matriarch of Superior's Molly's Tavern. Thanks to Paul and ANDVD Media for sharing the video with us. For Denny and the crew here at Almanac North, I'm Julie Zenner. Happy holidays. We will see you next week.
Of December is a stranger I walk like I just lost the keys to this city. As a sailor I've sent postcards round the world, but the picture tonight wasn't pretty. I walked in the shadows of haunted hotels like a miner trapped in a cavern. Well, I looked to the east and a star it shone down, and it led me right to Molly's Tavern. So I followed the footprints made in the snow by Salvation Army musicians. I got in line and I stood right behind a tap dancer and two blind magicians. You would have thought I had been there before as Molly stood there to greet me. 80 years old with a gleam in her eye, said you're expected and proceeded to seat me. Come on, you low down rounders, lift up your low down ways, pass the malt and the mistletoe. It's almost Christmas Day. I walked around and the harp player asked if I would like to request a selection. I smiled and I asked for God bless the child, and for him I took up a collection. I spotted a man with a white beard and red, from a distance looked just like Kris Kringle. As he went to the roof, oh, I thought I heard hoofs, and I swear I heard sleigh bells a jingle. We waltzed on a dance floor made out of glass. Between dances we sang Christmas carols. Then we lit candles, had a moment of silence. The bartender read F. Scott Fitzgerald. Molly said first we must give to receive. We put our trinkets into a kitty. In went my compass and my grandfather's watch, and I pulled out the key to the city. Come on, you low down